So this is a 3-part series that you're working on, the Massachusetts Migrant Crisis, the takeover of Taunton's only hotel. I didn't know Taunton only had one hotel.
They have one hotel.
I mean, not many people are vacationing.
They had one
Taunton,
hotel.
so.
They don't have. Well, it was actually a very
yes.
important hotel because it's adjacent to the industrial park over there. So there's a lot of businesses over there that would use that hotel. Yeah, and now they don't have
And so what happened? So now we have...
Yeah, so it was actually... well, if you remember in the fall of 2022, Ron DeSantis notoriously sent 50 migrants up to Martha's Vineyard. That was very intriguing to me. You know, I understood it was a political ploy and, you know, it did its job. It brought awareness to it. And DeSantis was like, hey, if they're all down here, you guys should get a taste of what this is like too. And I remember I was on the air actually at WBSM and I remember that happening. I talked about it and I said, I would love to, like put an air tag in the backpack of one of these migrants that were dropped off there and just kind of follow the shelf life of a migrant through Massachusetts. So right from day one, I was super curious about what happens to them once they get shipped here. What happens to them? And those people left Martha's Vineyard very quickly, so couldn't figure out where they were or what they were doing. But it didn't take long because in the following May, we started to get, you know, migrants flown in from the border, and they went to the Taunton Hotel. And general curiosity. What does a modern day migrant look like? In my mind, I'm thinking, you know, rough shape, emaciated, no clothing, just really, really rough. I'm just thinking migrants living in tents and just really bad. And so I was naturally curious. I wanted to go see what they look like. So I drove up to the Taunton Hotel. It's 20 minutes from my house, and got a completely different perspective on this. These were very healthy people. They were dressed very well. Some women had acrylic nails, Nike sneakers, basketball jerseys. All the kids had tablets. They all had iPhones. It just did not look to me the way that I thought it was going to look. It piqued my interest. And then, so right away, I started looking into it and I started documenting just to myself everything that I was observing when I was there. And then when I started working here, it was a great opportunity for me to use my skills to start putting in FOIA requests and asking questions. How is this getting funded? Where is this money coming from? And just hearing the stories from people on the ground there. You know, they were migrants that were buying, you know, 70-inch TVs or 60-inch TVs and bringing them into their hotel room. I'm going, this just doesn't make sense. So as time went on and I learned how to navigate through the system of getting information, it's just worse than I thought. And I think it's worse than anybody ever thought. The amount of money that is being spent just exclusively in this hotel is extraordinary. It's multi-millions of dollars. So one of the things that we're doing, and that my goal is to have a complete breakdown of how much a family of 4 is getting from the state at this hotel. So we started last week. And you're right, by the way. So the demographic is skewed.
All grown men.
All grown men. First of all, Massachusetts is a sanctuary state, so to speak, right? And we have this right to shelter law. This is only supposed to be for women with children. So if you're just a single man, you should not be getting shelter here, right? But I can tell you firsthand that that's absolutely not true. A hotel in Somerset had for several months a group of migrants there, 40 hotel rooms, and there were men in hotel rooms with each other that were not attached to any of the females that were there. So it's happening. But if you just look at the Taunton Hotel, these people are living there. They have a security there with a
police detail, right?
Police detail, 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day.
How much does that cost?
Well, the hotel is paying it now. So I checked into that. So they're paying it and they're paid up to date. So they pay it every 30 days, I guess. It's paid up to date. But it's 24 hours a day you need a police officer there, which is funny. I interviewed him.
The officer? You talked to him?
I did. He's all for it. He's all for this. These people need a place to stay. Very shocking,
they make a lot of money
actually.
on those details.
Very shocking that he had this opinion. I was actually taken off guard by it. I was just like, I didn't expect it. You know, I thought for sure he would just be like, this is just wrong. And he was all about it. And he said, this is no different than a regular housing complex. And I said, with the exception of the fact that it's got 24-hour police details, because most of those don't, and also that it's completely funded by taxpayer dollars. The amount of money is extraordinary. So we just started. So we released this, but one of the things we did was we put in a FOIA request for the transportation contracts. So while I was there one day, I saw these constant stream of vans coming and picking up people and dropping them off. And I asked what this was about, and anybody who's in that hotel can ask for a ride anywhere. So do you want to go to the grocery store? You want to go to the anywhere. You can just put in a request and you get an Uber type ride and they come and pick you up and bring you wherever you want to go. If you have to meet with immigration in Boston, they drive you there. If you have to go meet with an attorney who's helping you with your immigration status, you go there. If you got to go to a doctor, if you got to go meet with anywhere, they take you. So I was like, how much money is this? So I put in a FOIA and I got the contracts for the two companies. And for 1 year, it looks like it's close to $8 million. And we broke that down to 120 families. And it's like $60,000 a year on average that these people are getting. Now, these state contracts, they're getting the maximum amount of money for every ride. Okay. So it's not a cheap, that's the thing. Nobody is going on the cheap with these things. Nobody's.
Or like the hotel, right? It's probably above their normal rate.
Yeah. I think it's like $160 a night, right? For every single room, every single night.
Guaranteed, sold out.
Yeah. For a whole year. So Senator Mike Roderick spoke with Mike, our boss, and Mike asked him, how much is this? And he said it's about $10,000 just in the housing a month for a migrant.
That's crazy.
Just think about what kind of an impact that would have on the life of a regular family. But it doesn't end there. They don't have washing machines there. So they have a wash, dry, and fold service company that comes and takes their laundry once a week. Takes it, washes it, dries it, folds. Sure. But they get their laundry washed, dried, and fold for them for free.
Wow.
So they can get it and it gets dropped off. They get free rides. They get free health care. They get free food through our SNAP program. They get cash benefits every month. They get health insurance. They get legal services.
And I think this is one of those topics where it's so like the way our political climate is nowadays. Like if you're on the left, you're just going to shut this. You're racist. You're evil.
Sure.
You hate these people. And that's why you don't want them to have these things. And the conversation just gets shut down there. And that's why I like podcasts like this where we can just talk about it long form because listen, like I don't think you're saying or anyone is saying like these are bad people that aren't allowed to live a comfortable life. It's just the fact that like the clear just misuse of our taxpayer money is insane. And me and Mike just did a whole documentary series this year on the housing crisis, the homeless population of our actual citizens here in New Bedford and Fall River who are just, a shelter just closed down. The Tomato Center. And like they had to go out in the streets. This guy's living out of his car. Like these people are just living in the woods in tents. They're getting nothing. God forbid homeless. New Bedford's pretty good with the homeless veterans, I will say. Like they actually do have a really good program. They're on top of their stuff. But every city isn't New Bedford. I'm sure there's a lot of homeless veterans in the state of Massachusetts that are still living on the streets in the woods. So